Hey, what's up guys? Will here for GSM Arena. Today, we have a high-profile showdown between one of the best Android flagships and the top iPhone. On the Android side, I'm talking about the new Galaxy S25 Ultra, the latest and greatest from Samsung. And then from Apple, we have their top flagship, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. What are the differences, and is one better than the other? Let's put the Galaxy S25 Ultra and iPhone 16 Pro Max head-to-head and find out. The design is quite similar between these two phones. The Galaxy is 9 grams lighter, and the iPhone's corners are more rounded. But both have a flat titanium frame, and a front and back made of advanced reinforced glass. That's the latest Gorilla Armor on the Galaxy and Ceramic Shield on the iPhone. While both smartphones have IP68 rated ingress protection against dust and water submersion, the iPhone's is better. It can survive in up to 6 meters of water for half an hour, compared to 1.5 meters for the Galaxy. The display of the S25 Ultra is 6.9 inches, and it has a high QHD resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate. The iPhone 16 Pro Max's screen is also 6.9 inches. It has a slightly lower resolution though. With a pixel density of 460 ppi versus 498 on the Galaxy, the iPhone's screen is less sharp, but this isn't really noticeable to the eye. The iPhone does have the advantage in that it has support for Dolby Vision video, on top of the HDR10+, which you also get on the S25 Ultra. The Galaxy's display does have the smaller cutout for the selfie hardware, as the iPhone's also holds a 3D TOF sensor. Apple makes use of the space with the dynamic island functionality. A black bar extends around it to display relevant info and shortcuts. The TOF sensor within this cutout enables Apple's Face ID for biometric authentication. It's more secure than the standard face unlock you get on the Galaxy. For secure biometric input there, you'd be using an ultrasonic under-display fingerprint reader. On both phones, you get LTPO tech, which means that their high refresh rates can dial down when idling to save energy, to potentially as low as 1 Hz. The Pro Max has the advantage when it comes to brightness. It can reach nearly 1800 nits when needed, compared to around 1400 on the S25 Ultra. That's still quite bright though. It's also important to note that the Galaxy's screen has a special anti-reflective coating, and in that way it has its own advantage on a sunny day. The S25 Ultra is also the one that has stylus support, with all of the extra functionality that comes with that. Both phones have stereo speakers for your audio, and you get very good loudness either way. The iPhone does have a bit better sound quality though. Let's compare.
I'm wide awake, but you're a nightmare. I can't escape, I'm seeing you everywhere.
These two flagships come with different chipsets. On the S25 Ultra, you get a Snapdragon 8 Elite. It's the premium Qualcomm chipset for this year's Android flagships, and on top of that, the S25 series gets an enhanced version for Galaxy with higher clock speeds. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, on the other hand, runs on a chipset designed by Apple itself, an A18 Pro. In the past, Apple phones would typically beat Android ones in performance benchmarks, but this time around the S25 Ultra comes out on top, both in CPU and graphics-based tests. That's not to say that one phone feels faster or snappier than the other one in real-world use. Both devices are flagship grade and can handle basically anything you throw at them. The iPhone 16 Pro Max does have the advantage when it comes to thermal management though, displaying less throttling than the S25 Ultra in prolonged graphics stress tests. The interface of these two phones is of course quite different. The S25 Ultra comes with Samsung's new One UI 7, which provides the features of the latest Android 15, plus some reorganizations and extra features on top. The iPhone 16 Pro Max uses Apple's latest version of iOS 18. It's a unique experience, both layout and features-wise. One unique feature on this phone is that it has a dedicated action key. It's programmable to launch preset actions or specific shortcuts. Nowadays, both the Apple and Samsung flagships pack artificial intelligence features as well. They've been around longer and they're more advanced on the Samsung side though. In fact, Samsung has chosen to focus this year on AI features instead of major hardware updates for its S25 series. The suite of AI features is quite rich on the S25 Ultra and is powered largely by collaboration with Google and their Gemini AI. It can even carry out requests for you that involve multiple apps. You can check out these AI features in our S25 Ultra review, and we're also coming out soon with a dedicated One UI video, which we'll drop a link to when it's ready. Meanwhile, Apple has made its collaboration with OpenAI's ChatGPT, and you get this AI assistant on board instead. It can generate info, text, and images, and scan your surroundings. We go more in depth into Apple's AI-based features in both our iOS 18 and iOS 18.2 videos. When it comes to software support, Samsung has promised 7 years of updates for the S25 series. But Apple usually delivers 5 or 6 years of major OS updates, so it's not a huge difference between the two. Let's move on to battery life. The Galaxy S25 Ultra has a 5000 mAh battery. That's a bit bigger than the 4685 mAh one on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. But even so, while the Galaxy itself is great battery-wise, the iPhone does better and blows it out of the water. When it comes to charging though, the Galaxy is the winner, able to charge to a significantly higher level in half an hour, and a full charge on the Ultra is about twice as fast as the Pro Max. Both phones support wireless charging too, but the iPhone has built-in magnets, and that offers more versatility for charging accessories. On to the cameras. The S25 Ultra has 4 on the back, a 200 megapixel main cam, a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto zoom, a 50 megapixel 5x zoom, and a 50 megapixel ultra-wide cam. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has 3 cameras, a 48 megapixel main cam, a 12 megapixel 5x zoom, and a 48 megapixel ultra-wide with autofocus. In daylight, the quality is comparable, but the Galaxy's rendition of colors is a bit more expressive. The Galaxy also has a slight advantage in sharpness and detail, even though the iPhone is using a higher resolution output by default. In the dark with the main cam, it's a toss-up between the two phones, but there may be a slight advantage in sharpness from the iPhone. At 3x zoom, it's a decisive victory for the Galaxy with its dedicated camera, compared to digital zoom from the Pro Max. This advantage is again apparent in the dark too. At 5x zoom, both devices have a dedicated camera, but the Samsung is slightly better again. It has better definition, and the capability for close focusing too. In low light, it's the iPhone that has the upper hand at 5x zoom, though the Galaxy is doing a reasonable job. Comparing the ultra-wide cameras in the day, we'd again give the nod to the S25 Ultra, though the iPhone has the ever so slightly wider coverage. At night, the difference between the two phones is a bit more pronounced, where the iPhone is trailing in sharpness and detail. Both phones have a 12 megapixel front-facing cam with autofocus, and selfies are great either way. We prefer the Galaxy's colors, though the iPhone has the wider lens. And here's a look at the 4K selfie videos taken with either phone. When it comes to video recording, both phones do well, though there are subtle differences. From the main cam, the iPhone's footage is marginally sharper. The Galaxy snatches a victory at 3x zoom, though it's not as big of a gap as you'd think. At 5x zoom, there's no clear winner on either side. With the ultra-wide cam, the iPhone has better sharpness, and its wider coverage may also be an advantage. At night, the video recording from the two main cameras looks tied to our eyes. However, with the zoom or ultra-wide cameras, it seems the Galaxy's video recording has the edge at night. So there you have it guys, 2 of the biggest flagships around, the Galaxy S25 Ultra and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. With either phone, you get premium build materials, a large screen, and flagship-grade chipset performance. There's a set of versatile cameras with comparable quality, and both phones offer a suite of AI-based features. However, the list of the AI features on the Galaxy is more extensive, and they're more refined. The S25 Ultra has a more powerful chipset, and an under-display fingerprint reader. There's an anti-reflective coating on the screen, and stylus support. The phone charges faster too. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has the brighter display, with Dolby Vision support. There's extra functionality from the Action Key and Dynamic Island, and there's secure face unlock. The battery life is better too, and selfies are wider. Of course, the difference between the Android and iOS ecosystems is enough to be the deciding factor for many people. Both of these devices are great flagships, and it really is a toss-up. With either the S25 Ultra or the iPhone 16 Pro Max, you shouldn't be disappointed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.